Okay, so we're looking for the half moon on the 1951 nickel, which is how we start for the really technical, we're trying to get this figured out. So as we start, we're looking at the 1951 nickel. There's two variations. There's this one we're looking at, which just has the nickel Sudbury refinery on it. And then we're
Switch
also...
a slide again. Switch a slide. Thank you.
So we want to put a picture in picture so they can see that, Quentin? So if you can see the half moon there, we were just pointing to it. It's just underneath the one there. And that's what we're going to be looking through. So we're going to be looking through a box. You know,
Picture in picture.
box here of nickels. And these are all 1951.
This is a full box of 1951 commemoratives, so it's like the one in the picture. So all of these are the one with the refinery. And these particular nickels were put away in the mid 50s to early 60s, so they're in quite good condition. So any half moon should be pretty obvious, and the coin itself will be in probably EF or better condition, pretty much all of them. And they've never been searched. These are exactly as they were put away in the 50s and 60s in these old paper wrappers. So we're gonna.
So I've never actually looked for 1951. Like I said, there's two variations. If you get a close up of that, the half moon.
Close up on the half moon.
We get a close up of the half moon. That will require you to press the switch there, Quentin.
Switch to the half moon.
Can you get a close up of it, please? Thanks. So that's what we're looking for, that half moon there underneath the 1951. But there's also, I'm just going to pop this out for a second. There's also, in the 1951, there's also just a regular beaver. Now it's done on a steel blank. So if you find a 1951, as you can see it says 1951 there, that doesn't mean that you found the only 1951 beaver, because there's lots of these as well. There is two variations on that. The variations on that are the high relief and the low relief, and what's the difference with those?
In the high relief, the A of Gratia, the last A, points directly to the denticle. And Bradley can just twist that coin around till we get to the A, second A, go large. This is a low relief where the last A in Gratia is directly between those denticles. So the reason there's a variation with a high relief, which we'll put a 1951 commemorative in there. So this is considered a high relief coin where you see the last A is pointing directly to the denticle. And somewhere along the line, a few 51 steel planchets were stamped with this obverse and ended up with a high relief on the king's head. They're extremely rare. So if you have a high relief, you should right away flip it over and make sure it has a beaver on the other side, because all with the refinery are going to be with a high relief.
Yeah. So that has the high relief.
High relief, but it is the commemorative coin.
And so there's your
beaver, and it'll be low relief.
Can we get that split screen again?
Split screen. There we go.
So what we're looking for again, we're going to go back to, I'll put the half moon in here. Let's see if we can get a full screen shot. Let's see if I can get that up there nicely. Can you see that? Oops, sorry. Let's see if we can get it. It's kind of hard. There it is. I can kind of, can you see the 50? Can you see it there?
It's hard to see the half moon. You need to reflect a little bit. You had a good spot earlier.
To pull down.
There we go.
I thought I had good one.
There it is there. Perfect. So we're going to go for that half moon underneath the one right in there, up there somewhere. There we go. That's the die chip that we're looking for. So go back to the just full screen for us.
So we're going to look through, so we're going to use two things. We're going to use a pair of glasses, because you're not going to be able to see these with your naked eye, or for some of us we need glasses to look at this. And then we're going to be using, I've got a computer over here on the right-hand side, and we're going to look with that as well. But when we're looking at the computer, I'm going to have to do a bit of variation and kind of give the rotation, because when we're looking at it on the flat, it tends not to reflect very well, as we showed up in that. If you just give a half screen, if you bring up the
Picture.
picture, you can see that it's not great in
It's
that
not
picture.
showing there. It doesn't show where we had it.
Yeah, and if you just switch to the other side of the
That's
screen.
okay. Okay, back to full
Back
screen.
to full screen. But maybe you switch it over to the other side, the left hand, right hand, see if that gives us a better shot of the other side.
Yeah, it's there.
So I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna see if I can find some of these. So let's see. So I'm gonna be looking for none of these. We're not gonna look at having steel. We're gonna be looking for the 51s. And if you guys noticed that the 51 on that, if you just go the original 51. I don't know if you can actually see. I won't leave it there, but I thought we had a full shot of a 51. I'm not sure what other cameras working with another camera for it says 1751 to 1951. And that's because it's 200 years of nickel being discovered as an element. So nickels today in Canada are made of steel, not nickel, because the amount of nickel in a nickel right now is probably worth about 12 cents. So there's a great value increase of over 100% when you find a
Nickel.
Nickel. Now, I'm not familiar with the American nickels. It has some nickel, is that correct? Or what's the...
They're a Cooper nickel, so it's partially nickel and partially copper. Cooper nickel. I'm not sure the percentage in U.S. nickels.
Okay, so let's open these up. Like I said, I've never...
So Bradley is going to use a combination of a microscope. Let's just go full screen. And Bradley will use a combination of a microscope and might try the glasses.
You're old school.
I'm old school, and I find it very quick and easy just to go at it with the glasses. So I'm going to get my glasses on. I'm going to have a quick look and see if I can find half moon nickel in this roll. These rolls never been searched, been put away a long time, 50 years or better.
And what we're also saying that on these nickels, which is interesting, you said there's quite a bit of there's a lot of detail. So if we
in fact, we have some contamination right here in this roll. Right
Okay,
away,
right.
This is it's labeled as a roll of commemorative, but it's actually a roll of 51 steel.
oh, how's that?
I'll just put that off to the side, and later we'll look at that for the high relief, which is very
Cool.
rare. I'll get a different roll and we'll go again.
So right away we don't even. So I'm just looking through over here.
I call it good contamination.
No, yeah, I guess that's not too bad. So I'm just gonna bring in a little bit and squeeze this in so I can kind of maybe you can see me here. I got my computer going and I've got this little magnifying glass which I'm using to see if I can find. And just as I'm in here, I'm just giving this a little bit of a tipping it just so I can kind of see. I do have one that Bob has found for us already, and so I kind of have I've noticed when you're looking, if you don't really have a good sort of example, it makes it really difficult. Like I think that goes for anything you're looking for. I know that we were spending a bit of time this morning before we went live. We were looking at what was that, a 62?
62 triple hanging 2.
Yeah, and I couldn't really find it because I've done a hanging 5, I think, and a hanging 4. I think on the pennies. There's lots of hanging examples.
Well, these are commemoratives, so I'll get right at it and see if I can find a half moon for you.
Yes, I'm not being able to see. Do you want to switch over? Give me that so you can give me that shot of the. No, nothing. I haven't found it. Now, what do you think the percentage of these would be?
I would think that each of these rolls potentially could have one, maybe 2.
So when you spent this morning just kind of
half moon.
quickly going through this, what did you find? How many
There's
more?
one here.
Oh,
There we go.
Let me see if
That's
I
the
have.
first one that we need to do.
That's the first one right there?
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. That's a half moon variety right there. You can see.
Oh, okay, so I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to bring it up so you can go to full screen on this one. We're going to bring this under. I might need to put it under a piece of paper just so we can get kind of a bit of an angling on here. Well, that's actually really good. We can see that right away.
You can see it right away.
Boom.
This is with the half moon variety. There's actually we could consider them small, medium, large, and how that die chip started is it was small, became bigger, and then the half moon became more obvious. So a lot of people like the large half moon. It's just right there, and it's large as life. But the smaller half moons, which I'll go through these in a minute and see if I can find another one and show you. But just the size of the moon is maybe a little bit smaller, a little bit harder to see, but it's still a half moon. And if it went off for authentication, it would come back as a half moon. Just they don't identify the size. This one that I just found is quite a nice half moon. So while Bradley's looking for a half moon, I'm going to actually go back to the other screen, please. I'm going to use this system here, and we're going to load this coin. I'm going to flip it right now. And I'm going to list it for sale, give it a code, and spend a minute, just put it immediately. It's going to go live to our eBay channel and go for sale. So we'll put that to a flip.
So, like you said, we're going to basically, as I'm quickly trying to find something in my slow progress here with the microscope, not finding anything fantastic, Bob's going to put that in a flip, and he's going to load that from the eBay. We can see if we can get maybe a link up here eBay. I'll do that as soon as I find something, so we can maybe go live and we can bid on that on eBay.
So this one.
Oh, look at that. So I think so. If I look,
there you
Bob,
go. You
yeah.
found one already.
Yeah.
There you go.
So nice. So I
I
will.
want to go to this screen up here first. So this one that we just put to the flip, it's going to be X1900. It's going to be the code, and I'm going to just spend a minute and put it. There's the half moon showing there. I can see it right there.
Nice.
And then while Bradley's showing his first find, I'm going to open up different system and get this one for sale
There you go. So
as we are speaking here.
I was able to find a half moon right there. You can see that nice half moon. Now I know that I think Bob's probably sold a few of these, and because it gets shot on a very flat, what he's going to do right now is shooting it flat. You might want to pull out the HDMI cable just so it's not.
See if I can get a couple shots
I
of
don't
this
know if it's
in
going
here.
to pull off of that. I'll see if it does. So that I'm going to push that. I'll leave it. I can just leave that one there and see if I can find another one. So I'm just going to keep continuing on with my hunt here. So we're not using, as we said, nickel's not used in nickels anymore. I guess that's the biggest reason is because it's cost of the nickel. So, and I gather that for most Canadians, we might use the word nickel, but it's actually a 5-cent piece. Nickel, I think, is more of a sort of a U.S. terminology.
Term.
Similar to what happens with our penny. It's the 1-cent piece, but we it's a 1-cent piece, but I think some of us know it as the penny, which is not in circulation in Ontario. I'm just loading it up.
I think those photos went over to you.
The ones that I haven't been able to pull that off. You were going to try to do it. Do you want to just unplug
I'll
that
just
cable?
unplug each.
Just unplug it. He's not using it right now, so just. You want to put a half screen there? Just nice. Now we could make that a little bit bigger. Why don't you go in? Yeah, why don't you go and put it at 0.6 or something? Yeah. Just touch the screen somewhere else and let's see. See if it comes over there. So, like under bigger. Can you see that? Move it around a little bit.
Oh, look down. Yeah, that's good.
That's good right there. So I'm just looking here for more. So I guess the lucky thing we have is we have this plethora of half-moon nickels or these 51 commemorates that we can go through.
It's just lucky we have a large inventory of this particular date.
Because I think that's one of the biggest things when you're looking for these anomalies is that you might only have one or
Big screen,
you might only have one or two that you find when you're searching. I think that's a lot to do with, as we said, as Bob pulled over that steel, was that low relief probably?
Most will be low relief, but needs to be looked at for sure.
Because looking at your average nickels right now, I think, well, I can actually, where is, this is, right here, these are 51s. So there's, as you look at, I don't know if you can see the color difference, but there's nickel, which is the one sitting on top, and the other ones are steel. And so that is probably, pardon me? Further away? Okay, so is that, we've spent 3 months searching through nickels? Probably, I would probably say we've gone through, in a box, how many are in a box?
2,500.
2,500, we've probably gone through 10,000.
2,000 nickels in a box.
2,000
My
nickels.
bad.
Okay, so
2,000.
2,000 nickels in a box. We've still probably gone through 5 boxes of nickels. Those are from different banks, different cities, and that's what we pulled out. And that's those are all. Here's what I have 7 1951s, and one of them is a commemorative, and the other are the steel low relief. So, unfortunately, I haven't found anything in that. Just pulling out of the. Pulling out of nickels from the Canadian banks. But like I said, we're fortunate to have a whole huge selection here that we can kind of run through. So I'm gonna keep looking here. Like I said, I think I found 2. I'll give this one to Bob after he does that posting.
That one there.
Yeah,
That's a small, and that's a good example of a small moon versus the first one I found there is a large moon. It's pretty clearly large. This is a little bit smaller. There's a nice shape to it though.
That's not bad, isn't it? Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad. So I'll see that. I've got my selection here. Quentin Jones is asking, can you have a coin for free? Well, you can have a coin, I guess. I mean, you can find coins at any coins, but no, you cannot have a half moon for free. So. Well, I think even people can see it because they can see the dialogue going on. It says who they are, so it comes up as their names, right? So here we are looking for. Now you might be able to find sometimes, like I said, I was telling Bob earlier that I was doing a couple of tests here to see how this video was going to broadcast, which I think I messed up as well. There's another half moon, nice little line. I'm just going to throw it up here. Do you want to shoot over here and just fire it in here? So another variation. So this is the half moon. Let's see if we can pull this up. Let me know if you get that in there. Can you kind of see that? Or I'm gonna put that on. I'm using this flip here because I need a little bit of an angle to get it so you get some light reflecting off of it, right? So you can kind of see it happening here. I'm just gonna push it off. That's not too bad, Bob. Is that, you can see that one, can you not? Can you just get over your shoulder?
Yeah, a little bit under. It's a small one.
It's a small. So there's
small
different.
moon.
So there's different sizes because it is an air. And I'm wondering, I actually don't know, but maybe Bob could tell us. Is there a part of the die why it's doing this, or we don't know why there's
Die chips are just die chips. They happen all the time, different areas. This one just happened to be a little bit of some contaminant ended up just underneath there, and the way it pressed itself onto the coin just looked like a half moon. Then it gets a nickname, and then people just go looking for it. So it's just a die chip. It's a popular die chip, and it's very noticeable. So people like to collect that, like a hanging two, or any of these die chips. They're just or
what I guess I'm
die
asking.
clashes.
What I guess I'm asking is in the hanging part. I think that's the
That's the
queen's
queen's
chin
chin
coming through.
coming through.
And this half moon is a die chip, but is it because of the craftsmanship of it? Is it coming off of somewhere else that's going there? Because it's very noticeable. Like
Because
the
it's
die.
a depression, then it would be a contaminant that ended up on the coin, like something just landed on the die and it remained there. So when it presses it into the coin. So so it's more of a contaminant on the surface of the die because it's a depression on the coin. Versus the die chip is a little piece came off of the die, so that it's a raised chip. Versus this is a depressed chip. So it's something that's on the die. Just some junk. Let's say that they rubbed the die with grease, and there was a little bit of contaminant,
Yeah.
some dirt, some mud. Who knows what it was?
But it seems to be in the same spot.
Same
it's-
spot, so it's on the die. Right?
It's on the
Stuck to the die.
But it's like you said, it's a different size. So maybe if this die striking is the same die that's obviously for all of them, or would this be a similar?
Same die across all of them would be, so any of the other features on that coin are going to be the same through all of them. Once they have cleaned the die and changed the dies, which is many times per year, then it's going to be a new die. It's not going to have that half moon on it anymore. It's going to
Right.
be cleaned up.
So I'm going to just flip over just to go close up again, so we can see that show that these, as we were seeing earlier, I was going to show you. So there's, you can see in these ones, these are in quite good condition. You've got good hairline. The hair on King George there. I'm just going to go back through this. I'll just stay on that. I'm just going to look through some. Now these are steel. So again, you're going to have different metals. The steel is actually a bit softer, I think, than the nickel. So it's not going to keep the hair or fine features. If I look here, I'm just going to pull this to the side. And then this, you see there's less hair features. And this is obviously a much more higher circulating one as well. So these ones, you can see this. These ones have been out of circulation for quite some time. And I can tell you they've been out quite some time as well. Look at that half shot there. Is that these paper rollers here, these are, I've been wondering when I'm going to see these. These are more of like when I was a kid paper rollers. I don't think these are being used much anymore. These are like 1980 paper rollers. These are just old paper. This I'll just give you. I'm going to open this because we'll have to roll these back up. But this is the difficulty of rolling back then. Is, as you can see, this was so these were for different sizes. So you had what is it? You had $10 for 50 cents. These actually had the tunings and loose, so this was still reasonably new. And then so they had the different
80s.
various different 80s. So they would line up with the when you roll them up. You basically get it should line up with what you were rolling. I don't know if you can see that. See if I can make this work. So this is be dollars.
Maybe move that picture down out of the way so it's not coming back.
Right. So, anyways, it was very difficult to actually do. To have basically had to have
I'll
this.
keep it like this.
You basically had to have.
I'll keep it like
You basically had to hold your nickels, your quarters, your dimes, your pennies, and then kind of wrap this around. For us older folks, remembering it was always a trick.
So do you want to post an ID number? I put the
Oh, okay. So we've got
that first half moon's been found, and I just spent a minute, and I put it for sale on our eBay channel, and it has an ID number now.
So I'm gonna go to eBay.
And Bradley's going to put that on his live stream, so you guys can just check it out. It's running right now, and you can just put a bid in on it right now. I put it on a short auction, so we can just get out the door kind of quickly. 5-day auction, starting at $1. We'll
let's
take
see
care
if
of
I
the
can get
shipping.
that. So you keep chatting. I'm gonna see if I can get this.
Just go to your live stream and put it.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just gonna try to find yours. So just give me a couple seconds here. I'm working on another old computer over here, and it's a bit of a.
And then while Bradley's looking up this number, I'll get my glass, see if I can find another one.
I think I've got 4 here.
4.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good roll. There's one there, and it's a large one, but it's not deep. It's just there. You can see how each one is a little bit unique. The weight of it, stampings. This is a really good one right here. It's a nice large half moon.
We'll throw it under the microscope there and maybe get a close up of that. Can you, would you mind maybe doing a half and a half there, please? So you can see what we're doing. Okay.
And this one is the extreme, the opposite way. It's a very small half moon. Small half moon. Small, medium, large is the three types that we can possibly find.
Trying to see if I can. I'm not being able to log into my account, so I'm having a bit of a problem here. So
Why are you trying to go there? I'm just wondering.
well, I'm trying to find your.
Maybe on your live stream, just type in the item number.
What's the item number?
It's 304
304
987 994 926.
No, I'm not.
Nothing else?
No. So let me see if I'm just gonna.
Let's see what I can do here. Try to find a link to it. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a link to it so I can
Link
paste it in.
to the
But I'm
description.
trying to, the problem is I'm trying to sign with this computer because this is my old, very old Mac and I wasn't. I'm just trying to get in there.
304 987 994 26. I don't know if I can send you this link.
I can't send it to you on this computer anymore, so. Not sure it's on now.
Now you can log on.
I'm just trying. All these verifications when you go into say they're trying to be human.
Yeah.
I'm human, I'm not sure what's.
Can you go to live full screen, please? Thank you. You can watch us struggle with the technology.
Oh my gosh. I'm also putting my my name wrong, and so I'm trying to.
Is this the ones you found? Or
I
like,
already looked at all of
Okay,
those.
I can't log into this, so I'm just gonna go to the computer because I can't. Sorry, having a little bit of problem here trying to. Hopefully it'll let me. Oh, it looks like I might be into it. Okay, what am I gonna do? We just want to keep talking so that people know we're still alive.
No, we're still here. It's technical difficulty. I'm gonna try
Okay,
to
I'm
find
into.
the
So what's it called when I go to your Bob to your?
Whisker.
No, the listing.
The number?
Any part of your listing, I just need.
put it as 1951.
And then if it looks like this new listing right here. So I got a link here, copy. I'll be linking this. Now I apologize because we started this we started today. We had a live stream, but I had to cancel. Well, I didn't cancel it. I just basically kicked out. Right here. So I got a link. Okay, there's a link. Now I'm not sure again. Let's see. I'll press it through and I'll see if I can link to it.
A lot of stuff to go through here. I'm on your live stream. I
Okay,
can
you-
take you in here.
Yeah, just turn the volume down. Do you want to switch it around so I can see what we're doing?
And here's the item number. I pasted to
Yeah,
your
I
live
got.
stream.
I can click. I can link
Whoa,
to it. And,
that's pretty big.
there we are. That's a. So it's not.
I signed in there to give an idea, but I can find.
I see it. I found it. It's posted, and I've linked it, and I put it up on our. I put it up on our stream, so it's there. Okay, I'm going to continue. I'm going to at least get through one roll here.
Either way, this will help people find that coin that just went for sale. And I don't know that you can click that link I sent on to your chat there or not. But yeah, Bradley linked it there too. A little bit different than my link.
Oh, is it? Is it a bit different?
Yeah, mine is like this.
Oh, yours is a much.
Big, much longer string. I was on the listing.
Mine goes directly there, so it should hopefully work. Maybe mine links to my account, but. Okay, so it looks like I found out of mine because I believe if you put picture in picture, Quentin. I believe I found 4 that
Meet the bill. And
Meet the
I've
bill.
got 1,
So I'm
2,
gonna-
3, 4, 5.
you found 5.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna we have a little let's put a little coin roll in here.
So we're gonna take a little look at these.
So
Especially
where's
the
your-
ones I found are really quite. They really quite show the different types of half moon available. Some are small, some are large, some are faint, some are heavily struck. Each half moon is a slightly different look at the coin. So Brad, you run them all into one stack?
That's all in one stack. Yeah. Do you want me to put
Show them up
show them up there?
Show
Okay.
them off.
So we'll show them off, and then I thought maybe let's just put these over here. So I'm gonna just we're gonna have to get a 40 and do a roll here as
That's
well.
fine. We'll just contaminate them a little bit. That's fine.
Okay. If we can you switch over to
What are those first 4? Are they the first ones I found?
those are the first ones that yes.
Half moons?
Those are the half moon, yes.
These are half moons?
No, this is the half moon all right here.
These are
This
just
is
ones. Got it. Got it.
these are the ones we just found, so I should be able to go through here. Do you want to, excuse me, do you mind switching out so I can see? Go over here. So here we go. Here's the one. That one. This is a smaller one, right?
That's a very small one, yeah, but it's still half moon, and you can see the size of it is just a little, it's a little depression there, it's like half the size of a large half moon variety. Still a half moon though. Some people like to have all 3 different types, just so they can say this is how they are.
Well, I guess it'd be in all.
All 3.
Yeah. So
half
there's a
moon.
nice right there. There's a nice.
That's a nice, very large half moon. It's the size of basically the number 1. It's beautiful, that one. That's a very good half moon.
As you can see, if we're having to do a little bit of moving it around to give us a bit of. See, this 1951. Now this one, there's small again. Oh, that's not bad, Bob. Look at that one.
Yeah, a little half moon, but nice and sharp though.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So again, as I was going through with the microscope, it was not bad if I had to. So we have to do these little things where we do
Press down on the coin.
press
a
down
little
the
bit.
coin just so because you need some little light reflection on it, so we can see what's happening. There's another one.
That one's hard to see, but it's there. I mean, you can see it reflect out.
Yeah, it's a small one though,
Yeah,
right?
small.
Small. That's number 3. Oops, I'm gonna try to use this little bit of a paper here so I can kind
Tilted one.
of.
Little one right
Little
there.
one, see it?
Little one
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. And where's my palm? I can't move. I don't know.
Which ones you've done, yeah. It's
I
funny.
feel like this is. Oops.
Ooh, that's a cute one though.
Oh yeah, it's a nice big one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, those are great.
No, it's not a good one, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's great looking. So I guess that helps that we have this whole selection of 1951s to go through. Like I said, it'd be very, a bit sad if it's a pretty one too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very nice, large half moon. A little bit faint, but it's still
Faint, it's
there.
there.
Faint, but still there. I can see the shape there. You know.
Yeah, just tiny, right?
Yeah.
So, and I believe this is one as well. I'm just going to throw this. This is the one I was using for my. This one we found originally.
Yeah. It's a nice large half moon too.
Yeah. Give us for me an example because I need something to kind of look for when I was going through. So I'm just going to stick. Let's get. I think this other one was in the thing here, so let's just put this in here. No, that was the small one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Try to remember which ones are which.
We got a whole selection here. At least we got a.
Few pieces. It's got a pretty big one too, but yeah, it's a good one. It's got a great shape.
Yeah,
Large half moon. Nice lighting.
that's not bad. So do you want it? So let's look at. Should we look at that? We had that. How about we try that roll? Do you want to look at that just for fun? Should we look at that roll of 1951 steels?
Yeah, we can look at these.
Let's pull that up. Let's see if we can. So let's make sure. Let's pull these out of the way so we keep. So these are.
Contamination.
So
We have to look again.
this one. These are our rolls right here. So I'm gonna put these over
So
here.
this roll is what I pulled out first, and it's just 1951 beaver steel planchet. So I guess we might as well just look at them right now and see if we are lucky to have a high relief or not. I'll give half to Bradley, and I'll take half with my super goggles. See what I see.
Oh, that was a lot faster on
I'm
this.
just kind of quick at the items, so
I have to go a little bit. No. I can.
the roll is a surprise.
Bob hasn't looked through any of these.
No,
so-
no, never been looked at in our shop.
So we're looking for the 8 identical.
8 identical if it's in the pile.
Now, what was the reason for the steel over the nickel for that year?
Well, they were still conserving the metal, and they just happened to do the commemorative. Just they needed to suddenly stop using the nickel. So they had started the commemorative one, and they went back to steel for 51 and 52 and 53 and 54. So there's some more efforts or a shortage of nickel at that time. But the commemorative one they made of nickel because they were commemorating the nickel as a metal.
As the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of history in there as well.
Any luck?
Nothing. I haven't
No.
seen it. I mean, like you said, this is. I mean, if you the price. What is the price for one of these? For
High relief nickel, if you find one, is probably $700 or so today. 700. So that just lets you know that it's obviously quite rare and hard to find. So I think that most people would not be finding one. But it's always a wise idea just to take a look, just in case.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of
Might be
interesting
there.
that we had the opportunity to look through 40 pieces. Again, this is the 40 pieces that
40 pieces is hard enough to
Fine.
get, to take a look at, let alone to find a rare variety within those pieces. So if you found one, it would be a miracle if it was a high relief. It's quite rare. So yeah, I got no
no luck
no
in that. No,
pieces.
no love in that.
No
so there you go.
pieces.
So again, there's still the 51 still has some value because it is nickel itself, and then it's part of the King George VI collection,
Mhm.
which he reigned from what was it?
37,
37 to 52. So if you're looking for collection spots, you'd be looking for those nickels for that grouping as well. I'm just over here looking. So, so when you're looking, so as I said, the 51 has two types. There's the 51 commemorative, and there's the 51 beaver, which has the low and the high relief. So if you find those, and then it's also part of the selection that is the King George VI for his reign, and following him, obviously, was Queen Elizabeth, who has just finished her reign, and we're now into King Charles, which we won't be seeing unless Canada's,
Last like 10 years.
which I don't think we'll see a nickel of Charles.
I'm
Now
not
that-
sure what the plan of action actually will be. I think eventually we'll probably see some nickels with King George or King Charles coming
King
on.
Charles,
I
yeah.
think so.
I think we'll see nickels of King Charles on them.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see a nickel material with King Charles on them.
No, because the metal is already to plated steel. So
Plated
not
steel,
gonna-
so they're not gonna
change
change
that.
that.
You won't
You will
find
get a commemorative coin, but you won't get it won't be a circulated value.
Want to show these things, or you can't show
Oh,
them?
unfortunately, we forgot to bring those. We did some searching this past week. We did a big sort of safe hunt, and we found some stuff that I wanted to bring,
Oh, yeah.
but I forgot to bring it. It's in your safe,
Gold coin.
and we forgot to
Coin.
bring it. So that's unfortunate. It would be nice to bring that.
Show these little guys.
Sure,
No,
so we-
I'll find that 73 large bust. And
Oh, let's
we
do
can
that. So let's do
show these items. if
So let's
you'd
do,
like
we'll
to.
show. So let's put that.
Show and tell.
Let's I'm gonna put that right here. So we're gonna do a bit of a show and tell here, just of other things to look at. We'll look at. So we're gonna look actually. We're gonna look at looking at a 1973 big bust.
Large bust
Large
order. PL. Proof light. When you put a picture-in-picture or a large screen of that?
Do you want to? Can you give us a larger one? Can you go in and dial that maybe to do a 0.6 or something, right?
So in
Just give me a second.
1973,
He's just gonna do
Yeah.
that.
let's make a larger picture here. Ooh, I'm upside down. So 1973 and the Mountie quarter, the commemorative, they have two variations. This is a regular small bust, and what you can see is that the beads on the perimeter are a couple millimeters away from the rim. This is a normal small bust Mountie quarter commemorative. And there's a rare piece, which would be this one here. And if you look at the beads on the large bust, the beads are right up against the rim, right tight in there. So this one is in a PL set. So this is a PL
They're further away. It looks like. Are they tighter?
quarter with
Beads
the,
are- the
with the
beads are-
large bust.
They're tighter or
They're
further.
very tight to the rim. Like literally, they almost are touching the rim. That's how easy to identify the variety. It's also very rare, and collectible. So there's a large
Oh, yeah.
bust quarter, and then there's a small bust quarter. So it comes about where I believe the large bust, although it's a 1-year type, what it really was is that they had the obverse of the 1972 quarter put into the blanks when they were stamping a few of these or minting a few, And then they realize, oops, we have a 72 obverse, we better pull that out and then go with the 73 obverse, which had with the small beads. So it's really just an obverse of 72 minted onto a coin destined for 1973. So in some ways it's considered a mule, a 72 obverse, 73 commemorative reverse. And it's pretty famous and hard to find as well.
Yes, I always like the 73 just because it has the.
I love the Mountie. It's a very popular.
It's
such a popular corner.
I'm surprised we don't do it again because
I know it's very popular.
It's a very popular. It's the 73. It's I know that Disney actually had the rights in the early 90s they were using the Disney to promote the Royal Mounted Police. But I think they gave it to 5 years. They gave the image to them to sort of
use the Mountie, please.
Yeah, well, to actually see if they could use it for promotion because it is kind of an iconic thing of Canada, and it is on this is the 1973, and it is in circulation. So these are things you can find.
You can find the 73 quarters. You know, if you go through enough rolls, if you're doing coin roll hunting, you'll find a few 73s here or there, and they are harder and harder to find. Possibly because the metal, they're made of nickel, and the nickel has been recalled by the mint just for their metal recycling program, and the collateral damage of that is that it's harder and harder to find old quarters that are in the 70s and stuff like that because they're just taken out of circulation. And a couple
so
other,
I just want to people who've joined us, we have found some half moons. We have put one on eBay.
Put one out on eBay for you.
If you'd like to bid on it. We've just decided we had a whole box. I can just bring this box back out. It's massive here. I'm just drag this thing. It's a bit heavy, but we had a whole box. We haven't even touched it actually.
We hardly just needed to go through three rolls is all we needed to go
very
through.
Very fortunate to be able to go through. Bob's allowed us to go through some of these 51 commemoratives. Now again, we found while we were going through this 51 commemoratives, we did find a whole roll of 51 steel. Beaver, which we look for a high relief and low relief, which unfortunately we didn't have kind of any high relief, which would have been really amazing if we had just found it live.
It would be amazing to find that live.
So, I mean, again, he doesn't know, but he maybe still has another couple rolls in here that
possibly.
Like he's got this. Is that the roll he just rolled up?
These are the ones we just rolled.
Oh,
okay.
short.
We pulled 5 pieces out of it, so I could see them pretty quick.
And so now we're actually looking at a 1973 quarter. We looked at that. We looked at the large bust and the small bust, and there actually can we find them in circulation. So it's a good thing to keep your eyes open. Quarters. I do know. Speaking of quarters, when I get quarters, even if we get rolls in the bank, very limited of what you can find in older quarters. People have really gone through them and they've really culled them out. I think it's because probably the size is
and
easier.
also it's people call them out, collectors, but also the mint has called them out because now they have the steel with the plating on it, and they're recalling the older quarters because they're made of nickel. Not that the value of the nickel has exceeded the face value, but it could potentially get there at some point. So they're just easily to remove, like a vending machine. They have a metal recycling program. And the collateral damage for collectors is that the old quarters are being withdrawn from circulation by the Royal Canadian Mint, and they're harder and harder to find. So, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, they're made of nickel, and the Mint is just recalling a metal recycling program.
So what was last year for nickel for quarters?
Ooh, I would have to say 90, 89, 88, something like this.
Okay.
I'd have to look that up because in the 80s probably.
In the 80s.
Yeah, then it went to some copper nickel, and then it went to the plated steel. I think in those days. I have to look that up.
No, okay.
I will be doing this research shortly. But older quarters certainly are hard to find because of this very reason. So here's a couple of things I can give to Brad.
So
just to kind of look
so I was looking for
I'll do the research.
a pointed 5. Now this is again we started looking at 1951, but I really wanted to look. I've been finding, obviously, because again, these are things that you can find. So pennies aren't in circulation in Canada anymore. You can get pennies if you go to eBay. I know that Bob sells uncirculated rolls and so forth. Yeah. And people always have a penny jar in their house they're looking through. So there's things you can find. This is a 1985. This is a 1985 pointed 5, which has been graded. And I just wanted to show, so why don't we just get a larger version of this? Just nice and large. Nice and large. And push the other one and press backward. And there we are. So this is 85. This is a pointed 5. So that 5, I think we can kind of see that. Can you see that on the top of the 5, it's got a point. It's not just a. I'm just gonna wait. I can't really see across the screen. I'm gonna wait till we come up, and let's see if I can see a closer up of this. So there I am. I'm looking at it now. So you can see it's slanted back, that 5, and that is called a pointed 5. Now, in 1985, obviously it's not that old of a coin. I guess it is for some people, but not, for a lot of us it's not that old, not long ago we remember this. So that is a pointed 5. You can find these, they're in circulation, or they're in rolls that were circulated. So this is not something it is around. So I was curious because a lot of times when you see people have coins that they're worth money, they say they're $10,000. They're very hard to find, very rare. They're not really going to be something you're going to be finding. So there's a pointed 5 that can be found. That one's graded. And then this one I have, this is a 65. This is the large beads. I'll have to go find, is this on the queen side as well, or is this on the large beads?
Large beads is going to be on the queen side.
Queen side.
And then if you look at the last letter A, it's going to point directly to the identical, directly to Protea. Down Regina, there it is.
Sorry,
Regina.
let me just go here.
There, the A is pointing directly to a large bead. And this is the rarest of the 4 types, the large bead pointed 5.
So these again, they're not. We don't circulate the Canadian, although in the States you might find some 65s or some 85s. And I'll just wait for I can see this coming up. It's a bit slower coming up on my screen. But it points right to that A. You can see it points directly to the identical there. So if you look at the top of the A, it goes directly to the identical, and that's going to be the large bead variety. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I will shoot a video with the large bead and with the small bead, and so you can see the difference of those two.
Did you look at the 0.5?
I did look at the 0.5. I showed it. I got out there and showed it. It was very kind of cool.
And that particular coin, is for sale on our website, and it's as high a grade as you can possibly get. Mint State 66.
I think it's probably time with the camera. Not look at the screen because that's.
Oh, look at the camera. Sorry, Quentin. So you should check out our website if you're looking for a very high grade 1985 0.5. We do have one for sale. Just check out our listings.
So I think so we look. These are graded by who are these graded by? These are graded by.
These are ICCS graded. They're the foremost Canadian coin grading company. So they have the highest reputation by quite a mark. A lot of people just collect ICCS.
And that's it. They don't collect anything else besides the graded coins.
If you're doing a high-end collection, you're probably going to collect a graded coin because you want it authenticated. So
Yeah.
it's going to be in a holder like this, not just my word to say it's
Sure.
beautiful and red. If it's expensive, it needs to be authenticated, in my opinion.
So buying even but we do know the half moon. We're showing you the half moon. They're obviously. I think the price is. I think Bob's put it up there online. It's not a huge price for them.
Not a huge price. It's basically a $5 coin.
Do you want to put
$5,
up?
$6.
Do you want to put up to me? So I don't know if you can kind of see that. I'm just going to put this up just so we can see it, so you can kind of see.
Half moon. Oh, there it is, right there. Beautiful.
Okay. So that's what we were looking for today. We found the half moons. We put one up on eBay to sell, and I think that was kind of an interesting thing to look through. Something because a lot of times when we look through a lot of these coins, it takes a long time to find.
Takes a long time.
Takes a long time. This is not. It's not an easy find. Something like this, although we had a great amount. We'll just split the screen so they can see the coin right there as well. Our helper is doing 2 things though, but he's keeping track.
I would simply say it's certainly because we have a large inventory of the date and the coin itself, it's a little bit easier for us to go through a bunch of rolls and find a half moon. Like Bradley mentioned earlier on, he's gone through say 5+ boxes of nickels.
Yeah. And those
you
are
know,
from
and
different
banks, different
Yeah.
areas, and this is all the 1951s he found, and we're talking like 7-8 pieces. So to come up with 2,000 pieces to search would take a long period of time at this point to even get the inventory to find a half moon. So
Well, we're talking over
Yeah.
7 years ago that these were.
they're pulled out a long time ago. So we're lucky to have an inventory that has a lot of volume of these items to look through. But you could certainly, it's not something that you couldn't find. It might just take a long time. Might be better just to purchase what you're looking for your collection, and unless you like the thrill of the hunt of looking through tens of thousands of rolls, and
Well, I think
this is part of the fun of coin roll hunting.
Yeah, I think there's, like I said, there's the thrill of the hunt, but there's
Thrill of
also
the hunt.
there's also the thrill of actually. I was thinking about this the other day. Some of the things that I find interesting is that as much as these are, this is like a mid-state 60, what is this, a 66?
66.
So this hasn't even touched some of these hands. They basically been pulled off a roll and it's put away. The sad thing about that is it's never actually.
no story to
It has
tell.
no story to it. So something like one of these coins that's it's been through circulation, it's got more of a story of where it's been, and that's the funness of it actually for searching. So again, put in your collection for if you were looking for a specific piece. But there's also the big there's the of the hunt. So that's what's I find enjoyable about it. So.
I do. It's very true. The thrill of the hunt is just as important as the hunt itself. So, but these are some good things that you possibly could find doing some coin roll hunting, and we're happy to share.
Well, it's great. So I think with that, we're going to
Finish up our live stream.
Ship our live stream, and I think I'd like to do another live stream probably in a couple of weeks. What we might go through is let us know if you have anything you'd like us to
If
look
you'd
at.
like us to look for something on live, we're happy to look. We probably have the inventory to support that. So put your comments out there, what type of coin you'd like us to look at and bring live, and we will do our best to accommodate that.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. So we'll end it. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Put under stop there. Keep going over. Keep going to the. I can see it says stop in big blue letters.
There you go.